Hey there, so it's me, Nisi again. I am an Airbnb superhost and I would say all around awesome human. I don't know if you can tell, I'm not in my house. Well, you've actually not seen my house, huh? So right now I'm in a hotel room in New Orleans. And one of the questions I kept getting, and I thought I would just share this with you guys, because I get this a lot. Like, aren't you afraid to leave people alone in your home? What if they steal something? That could happen, right? So right now I have a guest. I'm a shared home Airbnber. So if you don't know what that is, that means like I'm still in the house when someone else is there. So I rent out the guest room as a short-term rental on Airbnb. And so I have a long-term guest there right now. He's actually a repeat guest who stayed with me before, like a year ago, and thought my place was so awesome that they're back. So I have to make a few trips out of town. I have to do that a couple of times a year for work or whatever, sometimes for fun. And so right now I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes. So right now that person, the guest, is still there in my home while I'm not. So what kind of steps can you take? So let's talk about that. I don't have a lock to the door of my house. There is a deadbolt lock on there, but if you've ever looked at Airbnb type things, they usually have those shared. They have either the deadbolts that you can unlock with your phone. You can use an app for that. I don't actually have that. What I have is a Schlage door lock that works off of a code. So I always set up a code for my guests. It's different for each guest, so nobody usually has the same code. And that's how they get in and out of the house. So whatever their code is, they input their code and they're able to go in. So they don't ever have to worry about keys. I don't have to worry about them losing my key or sharing my key. And the reason I actually got that lock is because this is a fairly newer home for me, and I knew I was going to have some work done to the house. And so I needed to have a way for contractors to come in and out and not have to give them a key or have a lockbox or something like that, which I just don't think those are the safest ways to go. But with the combination deadbolt, I know when they've come into my house, I know when they're leaving my house. So I think it's like a perfect setup. So that's what the person has in to be able to continue to get in their room. I don't have a deadbolt on there because it's the only room that I rent. My room, I do have a bolt lock on, and so I get in my room. When I lock my door, I get in with the key. So I guess if my guest decided he wanted to kick in my door and break in and steal things, he could, but since he's going to be there for like a month, I'm really not concerned. And that's where I think the verifications really come into place. You can't be 100%, but you can make some smart choices about the type of person that you allow into your home, right? Like same day bookings. I am going to do a whole video about same day bookings because, honey, no, don't do it. Do not do it. Anybody who's booking same day, unless like, hey, my water heater exploded and bad things happen. If somebody's booking the same day, you need to be concerned about that. There's another YouTuber that I watch, short-term rentals, and they said the same thing. I think it's like short-term rentals, STR, or something like that. And he really talks about VRBO and HomeAway and Airbnb and the experience that he's had there. And he had like a similar occurrence, like almost exactly the same. Somebody renting short term, they're doing a same day booking, they're from your community, like, and you didn't say like your house exploded or something like that. So whatever it is that you have going on that you can't do in your own house or wherever you live, honey, I don't want you doing that at my house either. So that's one of the things. So I think you have to be smart about who you allow into your house. The other thing is because this person is going to be there for so long, they've paid a significant amount of money. So I guess you could go in and steal things from my house, but you are going to take a hard L. So, because we have your credit card information, you paid a lot of money to be there, and you know, it's a home. You come here every day. I know where you work. I know where you work. I know who you are. So don't try it. So no, I don't really feel concerned. I mean, I'm not there, but I'll be back in a few days, and I mean, I just can't think of anything that could possibly happen. So if there is any emergency, I've let him know how to reach me, because obviously if something goes on with my house, I want someone to contact me and tell me something's wrong, and so I can take care of it right away. But I really am not concerned about that. But I think the level of concern with having someone in your home when you're not there, I think that's valid. I think it's important to feel safe in your environment, to feel safe with whoever you have staying there. And so I think it's not bad at all. So definitely feel that way. Definitely do that if you feel like, hey, I can't have someone there if I'm not going to be there, then you can set that up. So you don't, you can block those dates off if you know you're going to be out of town. So you have control of your calendar. It's your house. Do what you think is best for you. For me, I actually feel okay. This is not the first time that I've not been there when someone was there. So he'd already checked in, but I actually had a person who stayed there before. A couple came down from up north, and they stayed in my Airbnb and actually checked in when I wasn't going to be there. So I had to take an unexpected trip. And so I set everything up for them, and I left very detailed instructions. And nice older couple, they're like, yeah, I think we'll figure it out. Everything will be fine. And they did. Everything was fine. And I met them when I actually got back in town. And so I actually have not had any bad experience with a shared home. And I guess I can talk about that in depth, but yeah, I've not had any bad experience with a shared home Airbnb where I've been out of town. So this is only the second time that I've done that, but third actually. So I did have one couple that actually broke. Let me, you know what, now that I think about it, I had one couple that broke one of my steak knives trying to open a can. I don't know why. They tried to open a can with the steak knife. Why didn't you use a can opener? We didn't know how to use that can opener. Okay, well, why didn't you ask me how to use a can opener? You know what? Even if we would have called, I probably wouldn't understand it. I've never seen a can opener like that before. Well, we won't ever know, will we? Because you did not call me. But no, I don't know. That just kind of blew me. But it's a steak knife, so what's that? $1, $3. It was actually like $3, but I just replaced it. I mean, because come on, but I thought that was crazy. It's a can opener. Anyway, but outside of that, so I was like, even that one thing that happened, that's still not that bad. So I've not had a bad experience with having people in the home when I'm not there. So like I said, do what you think is best, but it's really worked out for me. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm in New Orleans, so honey, I'm finna laissez le bon temps rouler, child. See you later.